Yes, hello friends. Somebody please ping me if I'm audible so that I can start the session. Yes, guys, somebody please ping me if I'm audible. Good evening, Jayashri. Good evening, Ashok. Good evening, Kiruba. Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Unacademy, India's largest online learning platform. Let's crack UPSC CSE English. Now, before I start the session, let me introduce myself. My name is Alok Ojha. I've done my engineering from Pune. I have been associated with the field of UPSC since past 7 years. I hold the experience of giving serious SSB twice. I also hold the experience of exams like CAPF Assistant Commandant and Uttar Pradesh PSC. I'm involved into the field of teaching since past 5 years and I have mentored more than 10,000 students for UPSC. Today's topic is towards independence. And today we are going to end the journey of basically modern India. Okay, guys. So this is the last topic today that we are going to study about the India's freedom struggle, or we are going to study the last topic in the modern India today. Now, there might be a question in the mind of an aspirant why one should prefer Unacademy as a platform for online learning. So here are the ample of reasons why one should prefer Unacademy as a platform for online learning. First of all, you'll have daily life classes on the Unacademy platform. Unacademy offers you assimilation of top and dynamic educators of India on a single platform. You can directly interact with the educators. You can clear all sorts of doubts with the educators. Second most important aspect, Unacademy helps to build up your competence or competitiveness by going through live tests and quizzes so that an aspirant can analyze his preparation. All the courses on Unacademy platform are highly structured in nature and there is a proper timetable through which the courses are being conducted. And one can have unlimited access to the courses on Unacademy platform. Okay? Here are the few top and dynamic educators of India from whom you're going to learn through. These are the courses being offered on the Unacademy platform. Subscribe to Unacademy and use my code AKOUS. I repeat the code AKOUS. Now there is also something called as iconic subscription. Now what is majorly iconic subscription all about? Now in the initial days, the preparation of an aspirant goes completely haphazard because there is no proper mentor to guide him in the preparation. So iconic subscription is basically about the mentor who is going to guide you throughout your entire journey for civil services preparation. Like which GS subject should be clubbed with the other one, what should be the technique of answer writing, what should be the technique of essay writing. So there would be a mentor who would be guiding you throughout your journey for civil services preparation. So this is majorly about the iconic subscription. So if you please use, if you are willing to, or if you are aspiring to go for an iconic subscription, please use my code, that is AKOUS. I repeat the code AKOUS. Okay, guys. Yes, good evening, Monisha. Yes, Ramesh. Usually we'll go for the medieval India first and then we'll go for the world history because we'll complete medieval India as fast as possible and then we'll go for the world history. Okay, Ramesh? Yes, Neelam, hi. Yes, Aditya. Sat Sri Akal. Okay. Now let's get started with the last session of the modern India today. Okay. Now, my friends, I would be discussing the various important treaties. I would be discussing the important sessions of the Indian National Congress. I would be discussing the important wars basically as important wars as a part of special class. Okay, guys? Okay. Now, let's get started with Indian National Army. Now, the idea for the Indian National Army was first raised by Mohan Singh Deb in Malaya, and he was basically an officer in the British Indian Army. Now, basically, it is said that during the World War II, the two what we say, there were two major sides who were fighting with each other. One was Axis and the other was Allied power. Now, Axis power majorly included Japan, Italy, Germany, and the Allied powers included UK, France, Russia, and so on. So basically, it is said that at this point of time, Britain was completely opposed to the policies of Germany and Japan. And the most active participant in the World War II on the Axis side was Germany. And now there was an officer in the Indian National Army whose name was Mohan Singh Deb. Okay. Now Mohan Singh Deb, initially he was in the British Indian Army, but now when British Indian Army started retreating from various places in Southeast Asia due to the influence of Japan, basically he did not become a part of the Indian National Army. In fact, he went to the Japanese army for the help. Now what happened basically when he went to the Japanese army? Now when he went to the Japan, now Japan was also following the game of imperialism. See my friends, the point here to be noted is Japan was on opposite side of Britain, but either it be Allied power or it be Axis power. Everyone was following the game of imperialism. Everyone was trying to acquire new territories, exploit the people and the resources of the new territory. But basically, the Indian Army and the people of India were completely thwarted by the British rule in India. And now they went to seek the help of Japan here. Now, Mohan Singh Deb went to Japan and he asked that prisoners of war should be released. Now, who are prisoners of war? The soldiers who are fighting the battle. But basically, they said that when the opponent army loses the battle, few soldiers are taken as a prisoners of war and they are kept in the jail. Now, Mohan Singh Deb asked basically after the fall of Singapore to Japan to release 45,000 prisoners of war so that these 45,000 prisoners of war could be inducted into the Indian National Army. On the insistence of Mohan Singh Deb, it is said that Japan released 45,000 prisoners of war and now Indian National Army was being created. Now, one of the major things that we need to understand here is basically Japan was also following the steps that was being taken by Mohan Singh Deb in a very cautious manner because Japan was also an imperialistic nation and it can basically what happened, it can conquer India again. Okay, so what happened basically, there were differences between Mohan Singh Deb and the Japanese army. Now Japanese wanted that okay, we have released 45,000 prisoners of war, they can go back to their own country, but you cannot take your army beyond 20,000. I've mentioned here 2,000, it's wrong, it's 20,000. So basically you will have a stipulated army of 20,000 because in fact Japan also had a threat. And what sort of a threat they had? If the size of the army increases basically, Mohan Singh Deb can turn against the Japanese army here. Okay. But Mohan Singh Deb had a plan to raise an army of more than 2 lakh so that they can fight against the allies and specifically they can fight against the Britishers. Now basically this intention of Mohan Singh Deb was being looked at suspicion by the Japanese army. Immediately Mohan Singh Deb was arrested and he was handed over to the Britishers. Although basically there was no such punishment being given to Mohan Singh Deb, but the confidence, but the enthusiastic zeal and the patriotism that was generated by Mohan Singh Deb among the Indian soldiers was completely lost for a time being. But this patriotism was again regained when the Indian National Army was placed under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Kiani. Okay? Now, around 1940s, basically there was a rise of a person who was he's also referred as a leader of youth. He was a very active participant along with Jawaharlal Nehru in the various movements in India. Like basically, he was also a participant in the Nehru Report, participant in the civil disobedience movement. But there were certain ideological differences between Subhash Chandra Bose ji and MK Gandhi. Now it is said that Subhash Chandra Bose believed only in one aspect right now. And that aspect is if we want to overthrow the British rule in India right now, what strategy needs to be adopted? The strategy that needs to be adopted here is we need to start a mass movement in India immediately. Because when the Britishers would be involved in the war, they cannot pay complete attention to the administration in India. And when we will start a movement in India, basically Britishers would be forced to give concessions to the Indians, which will result in the form of independence to India. But this point was not being accepted by M.K. Gandhi and to an extent by Jawaharlal Nehru. Now, there were serious differences between them, and around 1940, Subhash Chandra Bose ji started Forward Bloc. And Forward Bloc played a very exemplary role in sensitizing the masses. Now, what happened? Listen to me. Immediately after the what we say start of the World War II and the formation of Forward Bloc, then basically Subhash Chandra Bose ji went to Russia first. He went to Moscow and seek the support of Russia against the Britishers. But one of the major problem here was Russia was on the side of the Britain. Okay, like Russia, UK, France, and later USA was also being a part of allies. So Russia, it is not said that Russia directly did not deny the help, but Russia did not help out the Subhash Chandra Bose or the planning that was made by Subhash Chandra Bose ji. At this point of time, the rising leadership in the what we say World War II was being provided by Germany, because Germany was led by a very autocratic and a staunch ruler whose name was Adolf Hitler. And the intention of Adolf Hitler basically was to overthrow the British rule. Basically, it is seen that around 1919, we will see this concept in the world history. Treaty of Versailles was signed. And Treaty of Versailles was a sort of humiliation for Germany. And Germany wanted to take the revenge of that Treaty of Versailles at any cost. Now, Subhash Chandra Bose went to Germany. And at this point, he tried to garner the support from the Germany. And in fact, Germany gave him arms and ammunition and also provided information about the British Army. And in fact, Subhash Chandra Bose ji also provided various information to the British Army. Okay. Now, Britishers came to know about this, and Subhash Chandra Bose was kept in house arrest. Later on, he was fled. Later on, he was released, and then he went to Japan in Tokyo. Okay. Now, what had happened? I had already told you that basically Mohan Singh Dev, okay, Japanese had suspicion about the activities of Mohan Singh Dev, but it was necessary to garner the support of Japan here. Getting the points clear? And to rebuild that sort of relation, Subhash Chandra Bose ji went to Japan. Please remember the sequence. First he went to Russia, then he went to Germany, then he went to Tokyo, that is Japan, and from here onwards he went to Singapore. Okay, and in Singapore he tried to gather the Indian National Army by releasing the prisoners of war, because there was fall of Singapore, and initially in the Southeast Asia there were many British colonies, and after the fall of Singapore, again basically many prisoners of war were being released, and these prisoners of war were being used to form a new organization. And at Singapore, Subhash Chandra Bose ji was he was being held by Ras Bihari Bose. Okay, now what happened? He made Rangoon and Singapore. Rangoon is in Burma as its headquarters. Now, there was a proper army being created, and this army basically had three brigades: Subhash Brigade, Gandhi Brigade, and Nehru Brigade. And there was a special battalion of women as well. And that special battalion was basically called as Jhansi Regiment and was placed under a lady officer, that is Captain Lakshmi Swaminathan. And he gave two major slogans at this point of time: Chalo Dilli and Jai Hind. He also said one thing to the masses of India. First of all, you need to understand that we have completely been oppressed by the brutal policies of the Britishers each and every time. And either it be the non-cooperation movement, either it be the civil disobedience movement, and in the coming days, either it be the Quit India movement. The policy that was adopted by the Britishers towards Indian was very, very brutal in nature. And he gave one slogan to the Indians basically. And that slogan was, Tum mujhe khoon do, मैं तुम्हें आजादी दूंगा. Give me blood, I will give you independence. And basically, this is the time when you fight for your nation. This is the time when you get united against a tyrannical British rule. So, a major role was played by Subhash Chandra Bose ji in sensitizing the masses of India. Now, what happened again here? Basically, initially we had the support of Japan now, because Japan by now was very clear of the intention that India's aim was not to colonize any other nation. The Indian National Army's aim was only to free itself from the British yoke. Now, what happened? There was an Imphal campaign. Okay. Now, Japan was trying to conquer the British India. So, it had conquered certain regions of Imphal in Manipur. It had conquered certain regions in Nagaland, that is in Kohima. But British Indian Army came to know about this and they had to retreat back. But again, there were serious differences between Japanese army and the Indian National Army. Why? Because basically, again, if they are aspiring to conquer the region of northeastern part of India, in very simple words, they are aspiring to conquer India. They are aspiring to what we say colonize India. So again, what we say there was a sort of demoralization of various units of Indian National Army. Now Subhash Chandra Bose ji went to Taiwan, and basically from Taiwan when he was going to Tokyo, it is said that he died in a plane crash. But still it remains a mystery even today. Subhash Chandra Bose raised an army which is also referred as Free Indian Union, Azad Hind Fauj. Okay, so this is majorly about the Indian National Army of Subhash Chandra Bose ji. Hope so the points are clear, my friends. Please let me know. Yes, Seema, hello. Yes, Apurva, Jhansi Regiment. Yes, guys, did you get the points? Okay, now let's understand Famine of 1943. Although we have discussed about Famine of 1943 in quite depth and detail when I've studied, we have discussed about various famine commissions. Okay, now Bengal famine of 1943 is a very famous famine. Can you imagine? Basically, approximately around 3 million. I'm talking about the official record, guys. Okay, if this is the official records, can you imagine unofficially, basically, more than 50 lakh people might have perished in this famine. And just not only from entire India, just from a particular region in India. We can say that from the eastern part of India, as per official records, 1.5 to 3 million, that is 15 lakh to 30 lakh people perished in the famine. This exposed the serious weakness of the this simply exposed the serious weakness of the government and its policies. Now it can be said as man-made famine. Why it can be said as a man-made famine? Let us understand this. I'll give you a very simple example. Okay. Presently, we are facing a pandemic all over the world. That is COVID-19. Okay. It is said by many experts that it is a sort of a biological war that has been initiated by China. It can be called as a man-made disaster in the world right now, which is going on. Because the responsibility or the onus is completely lies on a man. Similarly, although famine was a natural vagary, flood is a natural vagary, but there are certain infrastructural developments which are in the hands of the government. But government did not pay any heed to the infrastructural development at that time. Government only developed transportation and communication facilities when it suited their own personal interest. Government only developed the irrigation facilities when it suited their own interest. It only developed the agricultural facilities for the peasants when it suited their own interest. So it can be called as a man-made famine because government did not pay major heed for infrastructural development in India. and majority of the money that was accrued from the taxes was being spent on the British Indian Army, and later on it was spent majorly on the civil administration. There was complete neglect of the infrastructural facilities that we have seen in the famine commissions. Now, it can be called as a man-made famine because during the famine there was outbreak of various diseases like malaria, cholera, jaundice, smallpox, malnutrition, and so on. Now, what were the fundamental, if there is a proper analysis and if there is a proper study, so we came to know that there were fundamental causes of famine by now. And what was that causes? Vast resources were being diverted in the World War II. For example, when World War II was being when World War II was going on, basically, large amount of foodstuffs were being diverted to the European countries, were being diverted to the army, basically, who was a participant in the World War II. And what happened? There was shortage in the food resources in India. And when there is a shortage of food resources, what will happen? Automatically, the prices of the essential commodities will shoot up. Why? Because there is more demand and the supply is very less. And India is an indirect participant in the war, and India is suffering about that. Now, basically, rice import from Burma and Southeast Asia has been stopped. Okay, like in the Southeast Asia, the rice import has completely been stopped. The reason behind that, Japan had taken the control of Southeast Asia, so we cannot import rice again here. And secondly, there was complete gross mismanagement which was seriously exposed, because I have already told you that what all recommendations were given by various famine commission. Like famine commission said that there should be famine code, there should be famine commissioner being appointed, there should be proper irrigational facilities being developed, infrastructural development should be there so that we can easily mitigate the situation of famine. Work needs to be done for the welfare of the people. But this weakness was completely highlighted during the Bengal famine of 1943. So this is majorly about Bengal famine of 1943. Lalji, Raj Bihari Bose was right from the start itself. He was involved in the secret activities and conspiring against the British Indian Army around 1938 and 39 itself. Okay, Lalji, hope so the points are clear. Yes, guys, please let me know. Did you get the points? Okay, let's talk about Raj Gopalachari formula. Now, before I talk about the Raj Gopalachari formula, I'll give you a small background, a few seconds about Lahore Resolution or Pakistan Resolution. Now, there was a special session of the Muslim League in 1940, and this special session of the Muslim League was being presided by Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And Muhammad Ali Jinnah had a separate demand now that we wanted to create our own nation, and the term was being coined as Pakistan. The term Pakistan, basically it is said that was being coined by Chaudhry Rahmat Ali. Now, basically, our major purpose right now was to gain independence from the Britishers. And now we need to portray Hindu-Muslim unity, because Britishers have right from the start played the game of divide and rule in the country. And once the war is over, what will happen? Britishers, Britishers will again play this game with India. That is the game of divide and rule, because they will give certain concessions to particular section, and what will happen? This will hurt the communal fabric of the nation. This will hurt the unity or the cultural fabric of the nation. Now, at this point of time, it is necessary to forge Hindu-Muslim unity. So, C. Raj Gopalachari ji, a veteran Congress leader at this point of time, came up with a formula. And basically, he said that Muslim League and the Indian National Congress need to set aside their differences, because our major intention right now is not a separate nation. Our major intention is right now no right. right now is basically to get the, what we say, complete detachment from the alien rule and keep ourselves away from the tyrannical rule. And for that, we need to force the Hindu-Muslim unity. And he came up with a formula which is called as CR plan or C. Raj Gopalachari formula. And MK Gandhi completely supported this formula. Now let's understand what is this formula all about. First thing, Muslim League should support the Congress demand for independence. I'll give you a very small example. In 1919, basically what happened? In 1919, non-cooperation movement was being initiated by MK Gandhi. Now, non-cooperation movement, which was initiated in 1919, was merged with the Khilafat movement. Why? So that Hindu-Muslim unity can be projected in the eyes of the Britishers. This simply exemplifies that we are united and we are not divided on the communal lines. Similarly, at this point of time, both Congress and Muslim League should endorse a common demand in front of Britishers. And that demand is complete independence for India. Secondly, on the lines of Government of India Act 1935, elections were being going to be held in India. Now, Congress urged the Muslim League that they should help basically Congress in forming the provisional government at the center. And once the provisional government is formed at the center, we are going to resolve our disputes amicably. And in that case, we do not require any British interference for that. Then, basically, after the end of the war, basically, if we cannot come out on a proper solution, then we will conduct a plebiscite and a referendum. And we will conduct in the areas where Muslims are in majority. And when all the Muslim majority areas are ready to part away from India, we will create a separate nation. And if they are not ready to part away from India, basically, then we will not create a separate nation. We will first understand, analyze what is the wish of the people living in India. And then we are jointly going to come on a particular decision. And that would be completely democratic in nature. Why? Because we are taking the advice of the people. We are keeping the advice of the people at the center. Then, in case if there is a partition, okay, I have used the word in case. First of all, we are going to go for a united India. But in case if there is a partition, we will jointly agree for three major aspects. That is defense, commerce, and communication. So jointly we are going to decide about these three aspects and how to work upon it. Okay? Then these factors will only run when British gives independence to India, not dominion status. We cannot say that when Britishers are granting dominion status to us, we will transfer power to separate nation. This will happen only when Britishers are ready to give complete independence, full independence to India. Then all these terms and conditions would apply. This is called as CR plan in the history of modern India. Now, what happened at this point of time? Jinnah had few objections about this. And what objections did Jinnah had? Let us understand. He was completely in favor of two nation theory and he wanted that people's wish should be taken care only in certain areas and not in every area. Like he wanted that like people's voting should be conducted only in northwestern part and northeastern part and not throughout the entire India. Like there were Muslim majority areas in Punjab. There were Muslim majority areas in the region around Hyderabad. There were Muslim majority areas in the Bombay presidency, that is in the Sindh presidency specifically, Sindh province. Okay. But Jinnah wanted it to be conducted only in the northwestern part and in the northeastern part and not for the entire Muslim population. Okay. He completely rejected the idea of a common center. Like it was decided that defense communication, we will have a common ideology, common perspective on these aspects. But this was completely denied by Muhammad Ali Jinnah. And the reason he cited that if we are parting away, we have the right to make our own policies. We have our own conditions. We have our own circumstances. So we should have the right to frame our own rules and regulation. And we should not be bound by any rules and regulation at this point of time. So basically, he opposed the idea of common center. Okay. And he said that, okay, like Congress was only interested in independence of India. It was interested in united India. But Muhammad Ali Jinnah, at this point of time, he did not care for independence of India. He only wanted geographically contiguous area for certain sections of the Muslims in India, basically. Okay, so basically they said that Veer Savarkar completely condemned the CR plan. He criticized the CR plan. Why? Getting the points there. Why? The reason behind that is he said that if for independence of India, every nationalist rank should be curious about it. Every nationalist rank should give basically all his efforts for independence of India. And in that case, one of the major aspect is it should that patriotic zeal should come from within. We shouldn't be able to convince each and every section at this point of time, because it is a responsibility towards our nation. India is our nation. That is why B.D. Savarkarji, he completely criticized the CR plan. Yes, guys, did you get the points? Please let me know. Yes, please let me know. Yes, Ashok. Yes, Jinnah completely objected the common center. Like it was decided that both of them would be for the until and unless constitution is framed. Okay, both of them will have a common center on three major issues. That is defense, communication, and the commerce part or the finance part. But Muhammad Ali Jinnah believed that when we are parting away, we have the right to frame on these issues. Okay, so basically these were the objections of Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Hope so, Ashok, I have made your point clear. Okay, now let's talk about Desai Liakat Pact. Now, yes, guys, I want to inform you one important thing. Tomorrow at 6:30 p.m., I'm going to conduct a small test, and that small test would be of 3 hours. 50 questions, okay? 15 questions of ancient India, 6 questions of medieval India, and 29 questions of modern India. So please prepare well for the test. The test would be conducted on the Unacademy platform. It would be a part of special class, and the test will start at 6:30 p.m. sharp tomorrow. Okay, guys? Now let's talk about Desai Liakat Pact. Now, there was a veteran Congress leader whose name was Bhulabhai Desai, and the other leader of the Muslim League was Liakat Ali Khan. Now, basically, they were mature leaders, and they completely analyzed the problems that can come here, the problems that can crop up here, because Britishers have always played the game of disunity in India. Okay, now what happened at this point of time? They came up with a compromise agreement, and this is called as Desai Liakat Pact. Bhulabhai Desai was representing the viewpoints of the Indian National Congress, and Liakat Ali Khan was representing the viewpoints of basically the Muslim League. And it said that when the elections would be held, an interim government would be formed at the center. Now, at the Imperial Legislative Council and Provincial Legislative Council, few members are elected and few members are nominated. Okay? Now, the right or the authority to nominate these members was with the Britishers. Okay, but certain members could also be nominated by the Indians as well. It could also be nominated by the ministers who are being elected. So, what was decided here? Basically, it is said that the nomination would be done not only by the Congress, but even Muslim League will do the nomination. For example, I'll give you a small example so that you can easily understand the concept. Suppose there are 100 seats, out of that 60 are elected and 40 are nominated. Okay, out of 40, 10 will be nominated by the Britishers. How many are left? 30. Now, basically, the majority party would be nominating it. Okay. For example, the majority party is the Congress. So it will be nominating 30 members. Okay. Now it was decided that out of 30 members, 15 would be nominated by the Muslim League and 15 by the Congress. Okay. Then 20% of the seats would be reserved for minority, that is scheduled caste, Sikh, Anglo-Indians, and so on. And government will completely function on the basis of Government of India Act 1935 until and unless a proper constitutional uh, setup has been framed up. And this is referred as Desai Liakat Pact. Okay? But this was not accepted. Getting the points clear? Yes, please let me know. Are the points clear? Yes, good evening, Shashank. Yes, Lalji. Sayyid Ahmad Khan was not being a part till now. Now the majority of the leadership was in the hands of whom? Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Liakat Ali Khan, and the new Muslim leaders that have been cropped up by now. Okay, Sayyid Ahmad Khan is not into the picture now. We will plan. Now, we had discussed yesterday about Viceroy Lord Wavell, if you remember. Now, let us understand this. Now, there was being elections going to be held in London. And now, conservative government in London wanted to become serious in front of the eyes of the voters. That yes, we have ended the situation of World War II and we have come up with a proper solution for India. Or we have come up with a proper solution on constitutional question in India. So what happened at this point of time? Viceroy Lord Wavell started negotiations with various Indian leaders, the leaders of Indian National Congress, the leaders of Unionist Party in Punjab, the leaders of the Muslim League, the leader of the depressed class, and the various section of the Indian society, so that a proper constitutional plan could be drafted for India. Now they were coming to the end of the World War II, and there was a pressure basically on the England basically to garner more support from Indians in the war, because at this point of time that we have seen that Indians were sometimes being involved in the conspiracy against the British itself. So to garner the support of Indians into the war, Britishers wanted to give certain, what we say, concessions to Indian, like yes, that immediately after the war we are going to develop a Constituent Assembly which will frame the constitution for India, and so on. So major intention was to garner the support of Indians in the World War II, and England was being pressurized by its allies. Okay, what is the plan? Let's understand this. A conference was held by Lord, what we say, Wavell at Shimla, and it is also referred as Shimla Conference. Now, what were the main proposals here? Like Viceroy's Executive Council had approximately around 12 members. Now, previously, it was decided that out of 12 members, 8 would be Indian. Now, basically, it was decided here not 8, 11 would be Indian members except one. That is, except two, sorry. 10 would be Indian members except two. That is, Governor General and Commander in Chief of the British Army. Okay? So, this was decided. Then, Hindus and the minorities will have equal representation. In very simple words, there are 10 seats for the Viceroy's Executive Council, 5 would be reserved for the minorities, and 5 would be reserved for the Hindus. So there would be a proper representation to all the communities in India. Okay? Then this council will work as a interim government till the time being. Till the elections are held, till the World War II is over and all the situation is stabilized, interim government, this what we say Viceroy's Executive Council, will act as an interim government, and it would be completely within the framework of Government of India Act 1935. Okay? Then Governor General can exercise his veto power on the advice of ministers. The point is not changed here. Getting the points clear? So basically, majority of the powers lies in the hands of whom? It lies in the hands of Governor General. Okay? Then, basically they said that once the war is over, when the situation is completely stabilized, then we can go for negotiations of framing the constitution in India by creation of Constituent Assembly. And all the portfolios in that assembly, or all the portfolios, would be held by Indian minister except one, that is defense. Okay, so this was the major plan, but this was being completely opposed by the Muslim League. Okay, now I have used the word minorities. Example I'm giving you. Okay, now listen to me. Why Muslim League oppose this plan? Listen to me. Suppose there are 10 members of the Viceroy's Executive Council. 5 are Hindus and 5 are minorities. In minorities, we have Muslim, we have Sikh, we have depressed class, we have Anglo Indians. Okay. Now, Muslim League had a fear that basically they will go for United India. Okay. Or if any decision is to be passed, they will support the other 5. And in that case, the decision of the Muslim League would be overpowered by all of them. That is why he said that half should be for the Hindus and half of them should be for the Muslim nominees. Okay. So this was the stand of the Muslim League here. But Congress also said that it will reduce again Congress to a status of purely Hindu party. We do not want to say here that 5 would be reserved for Hindus and 5 for minority. 5 for the Congress party. Because Congress party here is not a party of Hindus. It is a party which is representing the entire nation. That is why reservation or representation in the Viceroy's Executive Council should be for Congress. Okay. So that was majorly about this Shimla conference and the Wavell plan. Did you get the points clear? Please let me know. Yes, Jayashri. Interim government means basically till the constitution is framed or till the Constituent Assembly is established, government's administration needs to be run in a proper manner. So the administration would be carried out by the few chosen ministers till the constitution is framed. That is referred as interim government. Now let's talk about cabinet mission plan. Okay. Now cabinet mission plan was headed by Sir Pethick Lawrence, Sir Stafford Cripps and Alexander. And the cabinet mission, these were the 3 cabinet ministers in the British Parliament. And what was the major objectives here? Let us understand. Now Britishers had completely decided that they are ready to give independence to India. But they did not want to leave the administration of India in a chaotic manner, in a chaotic situation. And for that, we need to create a proper constitutional setup in the country and make proper arrangements for the interim government. In very simple words, now they were keen to give independence to India. Okay. Now, what were the major recommendations that were given by the cabinet mission? Like it is said that approximately 22 days, that is approximately 3 weeks, like cabinet mission, like various leaders of the cabinet mission interacted with various political parties in India. Okay. But majorly they said that they could not derive proper solution to the problems because they believed that Indian society was being divided into various sections now. But they came up finally with their own recommendations. And what were their recommendations? There shall be Union of India. Okay. There shall be Union of India, which will deal with defense, foreign affairs, and communication. In very, very simple language, the dreams of the Muslim League were thwarted here. Why? Because it completely denied the partition of India. Okay. Hold on for a second. It completely denied the partition of India. India would remain undivided. And the entire demand for a separate nation, that is Pakistan, was being turned down by the cabinet mission. Okay, then it completely restricted the communal representation. In very simple words, the representation that was being given as per Government of India Act 1935 would remain intact. Okay, then interim cabinet would be created, which will be, it would completely comprise of Indians, which will take the decisions for time being, and there would be minimum interference by the viceroys in the decision that has been taken by the interim cabinet. Now, the members of the Legislative Assembly are going to choose among themselves few members who are going to frame the Constitution of India, and that would be referred as Constituent Assembly, and that would be completely on the democratic lines. How it is on democratic lines? I'll give you a very simple example. We, the people of India, have chosen our ministers as a part of Federal Legislative Assembly. These ministers are going to choose among themselves few people who are going to be a participant in the constitution making process. That would be referred as Constituent Assembly. So what does this simply signify? That the will of Indian people is represented here. Why? Because these people were indirectly being elected by the people of India. Okay. Now, the cabinet mission proposed a weak center. Okay. And residuary powers were vested in the provinces. Now let us understand. There are three types of list. Federal list at that time. Federal list, which is synonymous with present day union list. Secondly, provincial list, which is synonymous with present day state list. And third was concurrent list. The center will make the law on the union list or the federal list. The provinces will make the law on the provincial list or the state list. And both center and the state can make law on the subjects that are mentioned in the concurrent list. But on the subjects which are not mentioned in any of the three lists, the law should be made by the center. My friends, I have used the word law should be made. But what did cabinet mission proposed? Here the law would be made by the provinces. This simply signifies one thing. Britishers are trying to make the provinces more strong in comparison to the center. Okay? And the princely states will have their own powers. They can retain all the subject. They will have their own residuary powers. Okay? Then in the Constituent Assembly, the representation would be given on the population of that province. Okay. And it is said that the British Indian provinces had 293 members and princely state had 93 members in the Constituent Assembly. And it was basically broken up into three sections, the representation. Section A, Section B, Section C. Section A will have UP, Bihar, Central Province, Odisha, Bombay and Madras. Section B, Punjab, Sindh, Northwestern Frontier Province and Balochistan. And Section C, Assam and Bengal. And Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel ji was completely in favor of cabinet mission plan. The reason behind that, it favored for undivided India. And the cultural fabric of India, that is the unity of India, will remain intact. Okay. Now, what was the reaction to the cabinet mission? Okay. Usually, Congress accepted the demands of the cabinet mission, but to an extent, few demands of the cabinet mission were completely being rejected. Like they wanted the residuary power to be vested at the center and not in the provinces. Because if the residuary power are vested in the provinces, it will make the provinces more stronger than the center. And the true federalism principle says that center should be stronger than the states. Center should be stronger than the provinces. Then they wanted strong center and they completely opposed decentralization. Now, decentralization does not mean that states should not be given powers. States should be given the powers, but majority of the powers should be in the hands of the center. And Muslim League completely rejected the plan. The reason behind that is because it is said that the demand for Pakistan or the demand for a separate nation was being completely rejected by the cabinet mission. That is why Muslim League was in complete opposition to the cabinet mission plan. Are the points clear? Please let me know. Yes, guys, are the points clear? Okay. What is Mount Battle Plan or June 3rd Plan of 1947? Let's understand this. Okay. Now, by it is said that month of June, it was decided that Muslim League wanted a separate nation. And at this point of time, they were hell bent for a separate nation. And it was finally decided that there is a necessity for partition of India. And finally, Prime Minister Attlee announced the partition of India on June 3rd. Okay. And this occurred in the House of Commons in the British Parliament. And what was the plan here? Let us understand. See, Provincial Legislative Assembly of Bengal and Punjab. It had to be met in two sections. Now let us understand this. How? Now, first, basically, we will go to the Hindu majority areas in Bengal and Hindu majority areas in Punjab. Here we will discuss with the people that are they ready for the partition. This will occur in the first phase. Then we will go to the Muslim majority areas in Bengal and Muslim majority areas in Punjab. Here again we are going to discuss with the people that are you ready for the partition, and whatever decision would be taken, here we will go in that manner. In case of Sindh and Balochistan, okay, they are free to take their own decision. The reason behind that, Sindh and Balochistan majorly were a Muslim majority area. So they were free to take their own decisions. Are they willing to be a part of India or are they willing to be a part of Pakistan? Okay. Then, on the basis of in the northwest frontier province, few sections were Hindus, very limited, and few of them were Muslim. Here again, the wish of the people needs to be taken care of, and referendum needs to be conducted here again. Okay. Similar manner in Assam also, people needs to there should be proper wish of the people needs to be understood here. And finally, on the decision here, power would be transferred to India or Pakistan. And here princely states are free to take their own decision. That is, either they can join India or they can join Pakistan, or if they choose that they have to remain independent, they will completely remain independent. Okay? Yes, Shashank. Direct Action Day was associated after the Cabinet Mission Plan. Okay, basically. Now, let's understand India Independence Act 1947. Finally, partition of the country into two parts, that is India and Pakistan, came on effect on 15th August 1947. And India was divided into two dominion states. Okay. Now, it is said that is India and the Pakistan. Got the points clear? Separate boundary commission was being appointed, which was headed by Sir Radcliffe, which will demarcate the boundaries between India and Pakistan. Pakistan will comprise the areas of Punjab, few areas of Punjab, East Bengal, which is nothing but present day Bangladesh, territories of Sindh, Northwest Frontier Province, and certain areas. Okay. Then there would be different constituent assemblies for both of them. These constituent assembly would be framing their own constitution. Then basically they said that there would be common governor general till the constitution is framed by both India and Pakistan. Till the constitution is framed. And when both of them agreed with each other. And till the time being when the constitution is framed, the administration in both the countries would be run according to Government of India Act 1935. And as I have stated previously, that basically princely states were free to join either India or Pakistan or remain independent. Okay. So this is majorly about India Independence Act 1947. Yes, Shashank. Yes, Direct Action Day was being in which the Muslim League was being involved, and they were hell bent for the partition. They were hell bent for the partition of India, and that was a result of it. Got the points clear, Shashank? Yes, guys. Are the points clear? Please let me know. See, listen. See, Shashank, it is said that 14th August has been taken as a date basically for the independence of Pakistan. Although the decision was taken on 3rd June, but respectively after the demarcation of the boundaries, then and then the country was being partitioned. Okay? Hope so the points are clear. Yes, guys. Okay. So, I have already told you that the treaties, war, and important sessions of the Indian National Congress I would be discussing as a part of the special class. Okay? Yes, they are same, Monisha. India Independence Act and Government of India Act 1847. Both are same. Yes, guys. With this, I end the journey of modern India. Okay? With this, I end the journey of modern India. And finally, we have ended with the modern India in a quite depth and in a detailed manner. Okay, guys? You all need to go through certain important facts which are very, very important from the exam perspective. Okay? Now, thanks a lot, Kiruba. Thanks a lot, Ashok. Now, I want you to note down. Thanks, Apurva. Thanks, Monisha. Thanks, Kajal. Yes, guys, I want you to note down two important facts which I have not mentioned here. Two to three important facts. Yes, thanks, Kiruba. Yes, I have mentioned all the facts, but few facts I need to mention here, and you guys need to note down this fact. Okay? Yes, guys, are you ready with your pen and paper? Because I'm going to also conduct a small quiz again after this. Shashank, Lord Mountbatten remained the viceroy till the time being. Okay, till the Constituent Assembly was being framed and the initiation of the process of what we say constitution began. And once the constitution was completely framed, our the first president became Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And then our constitution was run in completely democratic lines. Okay, thanks, Ashok. Yes, the please note down this fact. It's a important one. I got this fact today itself. The Indian national flag was being designed by Pingali Venkaiah. I repeat, the Indian national flag was being designed by Pingali Venkaiah. The design of Indian national flag was accepted by the Constituent Assembly on 22nd July 1947. Saffron represents strength and courage. I repeat, saffron represents strength and courage. White represents peace and truth. Green represents fertility, growth, and auspiciousness of the Indian land. All the 24 chakras represent 24 rishis. comma, first being Vishwamitra and the last being Yajnavalakya. Yajnavalakya. Full stop. Also a part of Ashoka pillar inscription. Yes, guys, did you note the point? Yes, please let me know. Yes, guys, please let me know. Did you note the point? Yes. I want you guys to note something about Arya Samaj as well. I want you to note about two important points about the Renaissance as well. Okay. Like we have studied in the Arya Samaj, Renaissance. Okay. And in that case, we have studied that there was a split in the Arya Samaj basically on the issue of education. We have studied this. One group wanted the education to be in English language, and the other group wanted the education to be in vernacular language and specific in the Sanskrit language. Okay. Date on the second point is 22nd July 1947. Jai Shri. Okay. Now, there was also a debate basically on the issue of vegetarianism. That is on the issue of meat eating. Okay. So there could be a probable question in the exam. Which among the following are the causes for the split in the Arya Samaj? Okay. Which among the following are the causes for the split in the Arya Samaj? So there are two causes. One was the issue on vegetarianism and the other was on the issue of basically other was on the issue of education. So please note down this. There was a split in Arya Samaj on the issue of vegetarianism and education. The group that opposed eating meat was referred as Mahatma Group. Did you guys note the point? Please let me know. Okay. Yes. One more thing to be noted, please. Just give me a few seconds. I was reading also about this, and there can be a probable question. Yes. Yogakshema Sabha. Yogakshema Sabha. Yogakshema Sabha. It was founded in 1908 by V.T. Bhattatiripad. V.T. Bhattatiripad. I'll repeat the spelling. B-H-A-T B-H-A-T-A-T-H-I-R-I-P-A-D. It was for upliftment of Brahmins in Kerala. Okay, guys. Did you know this? Yes, guys. Did you note this? Please let me know. Okay. Yes, Nambodari Brahmins. Perfect, Apurva. Nambodari Brahmins. Okay, guys. We'll go for a small quiz of 30 questions today. Okay. Is it fine with you guys? 30 questions today. Now, just give me a few seconds so that I can start the quiz. Hold on for a few seconds, guys. Just few seconds. Few seconds, guys. I'm hosting the quiz. Just give me a few seconds. Yes, guys, you can see the code. Please use the code and join the quiz. Yes, for the people who are new on the platform, just open up your Unacademy learning app and join the quiz by using this code, which is reflected on the screen. The code is 453653. Yes, guys, please join the quiz by using the following code 453653. Yes, guys, somebody please also put this code in the live chat so that if anybody joins it late, okay, they can easily join the quiz. Yes, guys, please join as fast as possible. Please use the code 453653 to join the quiz. Yes, guys, please join fast. Yes, please join fast. I'll give you 30 seconds so that I can start the quiz. Yes, for the people who are new on the platform, please open up your Unacademy learning app. In the Unacademy learning app, please use join the quiz and use the code 453653 to join the quiz. Okay? So yes, guys, I'll start the quiz now. Yes, join as fast as possible. Yes, join fast. 453653. Yes, guys, your quiz starts now. Hold on for a second. There was some problem, guys. I'll again start it, guys. I'm really sorry. I'll again start it. There was some issue. Some technical issue was being there. I'll again start it. Please use the new code, guys. Yes, guys, just give me a few seconds. Yes, guys, I'll try once again. I'm really sorry because there are certain technical issues being arrived. Okay, so I'll try once again, guys. Just give me a few seconds again. Okay, I'm really sorry because of certain technical issues. It is not getting connected. Okay. Yes, guys, there is a bit of technical issue. It's not getting connected properly. So, yes, guys, it's not getting connected properly. Okay. So, I'll stop here the session for the day, guys. Tomorrow, I'll repeat the point again, guys. Tomorrow, there is a test. Okay. Tomorrow there is a test on the Unacademy platform, and the test would be conducted at 6:30 p.m. sharp. Okay, 6:30 p.m. sharp. The test would be on ancient India, medieval India, and the modern India. There would be 14 questions, 15 questions on the ancient India, 6 questions on the medieval India, and 29 questions on the modern India. Please prepare well for the test. The questions are very, very dynamic in nature. It will help you a lot for the people who are appearing in the prelims exam next year, this year. Okay, guys? So, yes, guys, if you like my lectures, please use my code AKOUS. I repeat the code AKOUS. Okay? There is a bit of technical issue being arising. That is why we'll conduct the quiz day after tomorrow. But tomorrow we are going to take a test. Okay? Jayshree, I'll discuss about the analysis part of the test tomorrow. Yes, yes, you will get the PDF of the test for sure. Okay, guys, please use my code AKOUS. I repeat the code AKOUS. Okay, thank you, guys. It was a very nice journey with the modern India. Thanks a lot.